Hello class. Today we are taking a look at a basic practice with graphing ordered pairs and relations. So we introduced this idea of a Cartesian plane or coordinate grid. And a Cartesian plane or coordinate grid uses two number lines, one going horizontally and one going vertically, to represent the two variables that we have in a relation. And we know that we define that our horizontal number line is going to be our x number line, representing our x values. And then our vertical number line is representing our y values. And we know that those two number lines cross over at 0, 0, which is called the origin of our graph. So to represent an ordered pair on this Cartesian plane, we want to look at the x and the y values of each ordered pair. And x always goes first, and y is the second number. And these values tell us where to draw our dots by telling us how far to go left or right for the x value and how far to go up or down for the y value. So let's begin by taking a look at that first ordered pair, 0, 3. The 0 is my x number, so it tells me where to be on this left and right x-axis. And 0 means don't move from the origin. Okay, now 3 tells me from there, go up by 3. So my first dot is going to be right here at the intersection of 0 on the x-axis and 3 on that blue axis. Let's take a look at our next point. We've got 1 for our x and 5 for our y. So that tells me to go to where 1 on the x-axis is, and then go up to where 5 on the y-axis is, and draw my dot where at the intersection of those. So 1 on my x, 5 on my y is right here. We can see that we're at number 5 up on my y-axis, and we're at 1 on my x-axis. Carrying on, my next point is 2, 7. So that tells me go to 2 on my x-axis, and then go up to y of 7, and draw my dot at the intersection there. And then finally, our 3 and 10 is 3 on the x-axis and 10 on the y-axis. As you get better with this, obviously you will need less supports, so a final answer to this question might just look like our 4 points, 0, 3, 1, 5, 2, 7, and 3, 10, with those points there. Okay. However, as we get started, we should be putting those extra things, or using those extra things to get our points in the correct places. Okay, in question B, we have our negative 2, 10 first off. So negative 2 is our x value, and 10 is our y value. Just label those axes to help ourselves out. So that tells me start at 0, go to negative 2 on the x-axis, which is there, and then from there go up by 10. So my first dot is going to be at negative 2 and 10 on the y-axis. Next one is 0 on the x and 8 on the y, so don't go left or right at all, but do go 8 up. I'll put that next point right there. Then 4 on the x and 4 on the y. So start at center, go 4 to the right, and then 4 up. 8 and 0 says 8 on the x and 0 up or down. Then finally 9 on the x and 1 down, negative 1 on that y-axis. Okay, so those are 4 points in that case. And of course, we can label those points with their coordinates. We got negative 2, 10. Over here, we've got 0, 8. Over here, we've got 4, 4. Over here, we've got 8, 0. And then over here, we have 9, negative 1. And we could label these ones as well. 0, 3, 1, 5, 2, 7, and 3, 10. On the back side, we had the question phrased a little bit differently. So we're asked to create a table of values for the relation y equals x minus 3 for x values from 0 to 10, then graph those ordered pairs on our coordinate grid. So we do need to create our table of values first, because that is going to tell us what ordered pairs we need to graph. So let's begin with that. we need our x column for our inputs, and we're told to use inputs from 0 through 10. We're going to do our calculation, which is x minus 3. We'll have our output or y values, and we'll have our ordered pairs. So let's go ahead and do this. For our first x, we have x0, and we need to subtract 3 from that, which gives us an output of -3, and the ordered pair 0, -3. For our next input, we have input of 1. Our calculation says to subtract 3 from that, which gives us -2 for our output. That'll give us x1, y -2. For our next input, we have 2, and our calculation tells us to subtract 3 from that. That'll give us an output of -1, so 2, -1. And you might be seeing a pattern here as we're going, which we should see, in that we're just increasing by 1 each time. So we'll have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for our x values. We're subtracting 3 from each of those in our calculation. So 3 take away 3 is 0, 4 take away 3 is 1, 5 take away 3 is 2, 6 take away 3 is 3, 7 take away 3 is 4, 8 take away 3 is 5, 9 take away 3 is 6, 10 take away 3 is 7. And then we have our ordered pairs. And we'll fill those in with our x values through 10. Oops, did I miss a row? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, missed a row there. And our y values. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's go ahead and graph those. We'll begin with this first point here, 0, -3. That tells me to start at the origin, go 0 left or right, and go 3 down. Next point is my 1, -2. So start at the origin, go 1 to the right and 2 down. 2, -1 says 2 right and 1 down. 3, 0 says 3 right and 0 up or down. 4, 1 is 4 right and 1 up. 5, 2 is 5 right and 2 up. 6, 3 is 6 right and 3 up. 7, 4 is 7 right and 4 up. 8, 5 is 8 right and 5 up. 9, 6 is 9 right and 6 up. And 10, 7 is 10 right and 7 up. And notice, of course, that this does form a straight line, which all of our relations should. So I hope that's helped you with your basic understanding of how to graph ordered pairs and relations on a coordinate grid.